Welcome back to the TYSK report. This is MMC bringing you the things you should know happening in the world of technology. Always some great information on the docket. So let's dive into it. Artifact takes on X and Threads with new posts feature. Artifact, a platform built by Instagram's co-founders, is launching the ability for users to make posts. Up until now, the platform has been an aggregator for news and links, but is now becoming more of a social network by allowing users to create posts. With this new feature, users will be able to post their own content directly on Artifact without needing to include a link. Post builds on the recent launch of links and allows anyone to share thoughts, reviews, ideas, or anything they find useful into the feed of content from the community, the company wrote in a blog post. Posts, along with links, expand what's possible to discover, share, and create on Artifact. So this is a great feature that Artifact is bringing to its app. I've never heard of Artifact before, but I'll definitely be checking it out after speaking to you all because I think it's an interesting app to explore. And also, since this gives people an opportunity to start creating posts, you can begin to find yourself and implementing yourself by utilizing this app and putting your voice out there to see what value you can provide to other people on a specific subject, a specific matter, or just to contribute to what's already happening on that platform. So I believe this is a great thing.
But in addition to this,
If X decides to put that paywall onto their app to where people have to pay to utilize it, this could potentially bring more users over to social network apps like Artifact and begin to move away from apps like X, because even though X provides a lot of great information, will it come at the expense of people having to pay for it? And with all the different things happening in society right now, are people going to want to take on an additional cost just to utilize X? Moving on to the next article, we have Microsoft. Microsoft is going nuclear to power its AI ambitions. Microsoft is looking at next generation nuclear reactors to power its data centers and AI, according to a new job listing for someone to lead the way. Data centers already use a lot of electricity, which could thwart the company's climate goals unless it can find clean sources of energy. Energy hungry AI makes that an even bigger challenge for the company to overcome. And in Microsoft's Surface event, they spoke a lot about how AI is going to be implemented into their products. So they're definitely going to be needing some way to find a more energy efficient way to meet their climate goals to power their different products. Now, continuing on, nuclear energy doesn't create greenhouse gas emissions. Even so, it could also open up a new can of worms when it comes to handling radioactive waste and building up a uranium supply chain. Microsoft is specifically looking for someone who can roll out a plan for small modular reactors. An SMR requires more highly enriched uranium fuel called halio. Let's just go with halio. Halio than today's traditional reactors. So far, Russia has been the world's major supplier of halio. There's a push in the US to build up a domestic supply chain of uranium, which communities near uranium mines and mills are already fighting. In addition to that, Microsoft already has a deal to buy clean energy credits from Canadian utility Ontario Power Generation, which is on track to be the first utility to deploy an SMR in North America. So it's great to bring you stories like this because if big companies like Microsoft are beginning to move towards more energy efficient, more sustainable ways of creating energy to power their products, you can kind of see the writing on the wall that this is where other companies are going to be moving towards. But also, in addition to that, this is a great opportunity for you to think about the future because with things like this, stories like this, I believe more green jobs are going to come. Definitely 5 years from now, but maybe even 2 years from now, maybe even this year, later on this year. You never know what could happen. But if you're interested in this stuff, this is an opportunity for you to get more involved or for you to learn more about what's going on that these companies are looking to do. So that way, if this stuff is aligned with your interests or things that you're currently learning about, whether you're in school or whether you're taking courses or whether you're getting a certificate in some form or fashion. Green jobs are going to be coming in the future, and you could be a part of that wave. So definitely be on the lookout for this. Speaking of companies that are investing in things related to energy, Lucid opens EV factory in Saudi Arabia, home of its largest shareholder. Now, luxury EV maker Lucid Group has opened its first international factory in Saudi Arabia, the home of its largest shareholder. The factory, located in Jeddah, will have initial capacity to assemble 5,000 Lucid vehicles annually. Lucid said it plans to expand the facility to 150,000 vehicle production capacity. Lucid aims to transition the Saudi Arabian factory to complete build unit production after the middle of the decade. The factory opening comes 1 year after the government of Saudi Arabia, which is connected to the kingdom's public investment fund that owns 60% of Lucid, said it will buy 100,000 of the automaker's electric vehicles over the next decade. Now, a key thing to point out in this article is this right here. The EV sales agreement is part of the Saudi Kingdom's Vision 2030 plan, which seeks to diversify its economy away from fossil fuels. So again, this is connected to that last story in a sense because they are also moving away from the way energy is processed today and moving forward to the way energy is going to be processed in the future. So again, with stories like this, with articles like this, with information like this is a country, they already have a 2030 plan for it, which I'm sure other countries and companies already have. And they're definitely moving towards more sustainability and more energy efficient ways to power the world. Definitely look out for this stuff. Definitely get more interested in it, learn more about it, because there will be opportunities on the horizon for you to get involved and find your way being on the right side of innovation, and you never know what could happen and how that could help change your life. And with this next story, we have robots back again, but they are in New York. An NYPD security robot will be patrolling the Times Square substation. The K5 is a massive robot with no arms, no legs, and 4 surveillance cameras. The New York Police Department is implementing a new security measure at the Times Square substation. It's deploying a security robot to patrol the premises, which authorities say is meant to keep you safe. K5 weighs 420 pounds and is equipped with 4 cameras that can record video but no audio. It says here the robot will patrol the station from midnight until 6 a.m. throughout its trial run that's scheduled to run over the next 2 months. But K5 won't be doing full patrols for a while since it's spending its first 2 weeks mapping out the station and roaming only the main areas and not the platforms. The only real-time help it can provide people is to connect them to a live person to report an incident or to ask questions, provided they're able to press a button on the robot. New York City is leasing K5 for around $9 an hour for the next 2 months. Adams has a history of supporting the use of machines as police tools. Earlier this year, the mayor also announced that the NYPD will acquire 2 DigiDog robots for $750,000 each for use in hostage and other critical situations. So news like this is, I believe, is just to get you more comfortable, I should say, with robots being around you, patrolling. And this company right here is called Nightscope, and I've known about them for a couple of years, and they actually have different products besides this K5 robot. And if you look here, they have the K1, the K3, again the K5, and a very interesting looking one, the K7. There is always something interesting happening in the world of technology, and it's important for you to stay up to date on this information. So, if you enjoyed this video, definitely check out these 2 videos right here where I talk more about other information and other amazing things and things that you should know happening in the world of technology.